For centuries, a secret had been kept high in a tower of an Italian castle. The whole family knew something was there, but only grandfather knew, and he wouldn't tell. Each morning he unlocked the door and entered the tower room, staying there for hours. His granddaughter, the Lady Sophia, was burning with curiosity. She figured she had just as much right to know the secret as anyone else. So one morning, she tiptoed up the tower stairs behind her grandfather. She was hoping to slip into the room, but he quickly shut the door and relocked it from the inside. She pressed her ear up against the door. What was he doing in there? What the lady really wanted to hear was the clink of coins or the clatter of jewels. Her greed made her imagine all sorts of wondrous things. What if there were boxes of diamond tiaras and necklaces just waiting for her to wear them at the next grand ball? But the only thing she heard was the occasional stretch of a fingernail. Or was it pen on paper? She knew, however, exactly what she smelled. Whiffs of candle smoke were seeping through the cracks around the door. Why would her grandfather burn candles long before dark? She went down the stairs before the smoke made her sneeze, and hurried to the stable. The lady found one of the stable boys and snapped him out an order. "Saddle a horse," she said, "and be quick about it." She ran through the forest looking for the hut of an old fortune teller. It wasn't easy to find, half hidden by bushes and overgrown vines, but the lady finally spotted it. She dismounted and threw open the door. She didn't even knock. "What's my family secret?" she demanded, strongly striking an old woman. The fortune teller peered up at her. "Why would I look into the past? I only tell the future." The lady tried to contain her anger. "Then tell me my fortune." "Much depends," the fortune teller began. Then she paused. She was listening to an old owl hooting in the tree nearby. "A bad sign," she said. "A great disaster may await you. Let us see." She led Lady Sophia to a nearby meadow and pulled a ruby-colored goblet from her pocket. She called to a swallow, a bird of good fortune. She called to an owl, which foretells evil. Whichever bird lights on the rim of this goblet first will determine your success or failure. The owl is first. The fortune teller shuddered. "Be careful," she said. "Do not invite trouble." "Ha!" snorted Lady Sophia, gripping the fortune teller's shoulder. "You'll be the one in trouble, not me." Without so much as a thank you, she rode back to the castle, confronting her grandfather. "Why won't you tell me?" she stormed. "I have asked you 1,000 times." "Patience, my dear," said the old man. "You will know someday." "Soon?" she asked. "No. Only the oldest member of the family is permitted to know the secret. When I am gone, your father will know. When he dies, your mother will know. And then when they are both gone, your older sister will know. When she dies, it will be your turn." They could hardly believe what her grandfather had said. What enraged her most was that her sister would know before she did. She turned on her heel and left the castle. By the time she reached the forest, she was stomping her feet. She was so angry she almost didn't see the small spring of straggly herbs growing beside it. But something clicked in her mind as she went past. She looked back, saw oval leaves and pale pink berries. It must have drawn she had seen in a strange book. She had read about the herbs too. Suddenly she knew how to learn the family secret. She pulled the herbs out of the handful, hid them under her skirt, and hurried back to the castle. When no one was looking, she grabbed a kettle of water from the kitchen and hung it over the fire in her room. As soon as the water boiled, she tossed in the herbs and watched the murky brew turn poisonous. Fury had overcome all thoughts of love and respect for her family and greed into Twister's mind. At breakfast, she stirred the evil mixture into her sister's porridge. At lunch, she poisoned her parents' soup. At dinner, she slipped poison into her grandfather's pudding. One by one, they lay down to die. Her grandfather was last. When he was gasping for breath, he called her to his bedside. "We never harmed you, yet you killed us. Thinking you would gain a treasure, but you will be so disappointed. Your punishment will begin when you learn what has been hidden for so long." Lady Sophia didn't look the least bit remorse. "What is it?" she demanded. "It is the skull of our oldest ancestor, which must be cared for by the oldest living descendant. This is your responsibility now, and only death will free you from its power. At 7 each morning you must enter the room, close all the windows, then light 4 candles in front of the skull and open the great book that lies before it. It is the history of our family. You must learn the history and add to it each day. Just think what you must write. Now that you've murdered those who loved you most." His voice grew weaker. "You will find the key," he whispered, "under my pillow." With a glance of her dying grandfather, Lady Sophia shoved her hand under the pillow, found the key, and raced to the tower door. "Surely he's lying," she raged. "No one would spend each day tending a skull." When she unlocked the door to the tower room, she was aghast. All she saw there was a table, a chair, a large book, 4 candles, and the skull. So all eyes were staring at her. Lady Sophia wasn't afraid of old bones, so she grabbed the skull and flung it out the window. It bounced on the ground a time or two and flew back right into the tower room. It grinned at her. She sneezed it from her nose. Again she threw it as hard as she could, and again it sailed back, still grinning. Whatever she did, it was always with her. Whether she was asleep or awake, in the castle or out, it stayed right in front of her face. At first, Lady Sophia was annoyed. She kept thrusting it away. But as time passed, she began to worry. What if it shadowed her for life? Horrifying thought. She decided to shovel in their grave. She didn't do it herself because none of the servants would go near her with that skull hovering close by. She went back to the forest and dug. Her back ached. She was not used to her label. But she knew she kept shoveling and pushing the skull away. Filled right back every time, grinning a tedious grin. She threw dirt out of the hole until it was deep as a grave. Then she stood on the edge, grabbed the skull, and flung it in. Suddenly, the hole turned into a deep pit. Flames rose from the bottom. The edge of the hole crumbled away. Lady Sophia fell and screaming. The skull rose into the air, turning once more to grin at her lady as the dirt closed over her head and sank out of sight. Death had freed her from its awful power. The skull was still grinning as it flew back out of the forest. Now, as relatives were dead, he was eager to haunt a new family. How about yours?